for my friend Jen Palko to join me, who is Operations Director of the S.U.N. She's also an acupuncturist and an author. She has a book coming out. We'll talk a little bit about that. But today we're going to be speaking about how to raise your frequency and stay in a high vibrational state. We're going to be talking about mind, body, and soul.
Hi there.
Hey Jen, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Yeah, so I was just letting everyone know that you have a book coming out, that you're an acupuncturist, you're
Yes.
operations director of the S.U.N, and
Mm-hmm.
that today we're going to be talking about the mind, body, soul, your energy field, how to stay in a high vibrational state. So yeah, I'm really excited to get into it.
Me too. Absolutely.
Yeah,
And this is our
so
first live together, so this is I'm looking forward to this.
yes, this is our first live, guys. Um, so why don't we start by just talking about your book coming out really quick because I feel like it really aligns with what we are speaking about today.
Sure. Yeah. So I have a book coming out. It's called The 12-Step Guide for the Self-Help Book Addict. So as you can kind of get the gist from by the name, it's for specifically for people who are self-help book and personal development book addicts. Basically what that means, somebody who has collected books over the years, and it's almost like reading book after book after book and never really seeing anything in the physical environment changing or manifesting. I wrote this book because I've been there myself. You know, it started probably, especially when I found like the law of attraction and all the, everything about manifestation and how you can, your internal thoughts, create your reality. I was so fascinated by that, and it led me down, years of just studying it and reading book after book and after book. And I, I swear I probably bought up like every law of attraction book there was in a bookstore. I would just go specifically to the bookstore, and all the books were saying the same stuff, saying the same thing. And I would see little bits here and there changing, but really nothing drastic. And it wasn't until I realized that, how I had been going about it was not exactly the right way. It's kind of this sugar-coated thing, this very glossy idea, right? It's like, all right, I'll think it and I'll just show up on my couch or my living room. And that's, it goes a lot deeper than that. So that's what this book is about. I take you through, it's a good guide to change how you're thinking about things in your life and shifting your perspective on things, and law of attraction and personal development, so you can actually change something. And it's not about, actually, it's not about wanting and needing. It's more like you have it, but you're just you're on the wrong vibration with it. So it ties into nicely to what we're talking about today with vibration and staying in a high vibe state, because it's so important when you're trying to bring things into your physical world, right? So it's, and that's where it gets lost, because they're thinking that they want something, but internally they're not, they're in a lower state, right? There's a mismatch between this two. So it's really important. So that's kind of the long, twisted way of explaining what it is. But the book will be out very, very soon. So I'm really excited for it.
Yay. I'm so excited for you, and
Yeah.
I just wanted to welcome Laura.
Hi, Laura.
And we have Anul. Hello, welcome.
Hi,
Thank you guys
welcome.
for joining.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think it's interesting what you just said when it comes to, your book. And what I really wanted to dive into is like strategies to really keep you in that high vibrational state. Um, so one thing that I'm really into is sound healing,
Mm-hmm.
and using sound to help heal the body, balance the chakras. And you're also an acupuncturist, so you understand the meridian points and how they
Right.
connect to the different organs. So I feel like this aligns perfectly. Um,
Absolutely.
so one thing that I really love is I make binaural tracks, as well as I'll go to YouTube and I'll search for certain binaural tracks depending on what I'm going through, So, say I'm really just, I'm all over the place, I'm frustrated, I'll go on and I'll listen to maybe theta, which gets you in more of a meditative state.
Yeah.
I also love to listen to theta waves when I need to sleep and I can't sleep. I think binaural beats is perfect for anyone just getting started and they don't quite know, where to go. Say you're just fresh getting into like a meditation practice. And
Right.
not everyone is super into meditation, or not everyone is really able to connect and get deep and stay focused and centered. So I feel like music is the perfect place to kind of start for all of that.
It
Or if you're
is.
already deep
It
into a
is.
practice, it will just heighten it and make
Yeah.
your meditations even deeper. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
I love music. I mean, yeah, I've dabbled with binaural beats, and I don't know if you want to explain for anybody who doesn't know exactly what that is about the different, frequencies and, brainwave states and stuff that we
yeah,
go
yeah.
into.
Yeah, so there's theta, alpha, beta, and all of these different states, right? Um, it basically mimics the frequency.
No worries.
My headphones stuff. They always fall out. It's like my ears are just doesn't work for me, no matter what I do.
The ears are too big.
Yeah, maybe they're too big. Yeah, so basically these waves mimic the sound frequency that your brain gives off, or the frequency within your body,
Right.
and it helps to boost it. So say you're not able to calm down, that means your brain is not transmitting those theta waves. And the easiest thing you can do is listen to a track and um, basically get that going, get the frequency
Yeah.
going in your brain.
Yeah.
And it's all natural. We produce these frequencies naturally. This is just something that will help to kickstart those frequencies. We're also able to, like some of these super meditation masters, they can literally just, it's just consciousness. They can think
Hmm.
about it and they can activate these waves within their brain.
Wow.
Um, I really love binaural beats. I also love toning, where you sing certain vowels that align with the chakra points, and it helps to open up the chakra points. And as you know, Jen, these chakra points are connected to different meridian points in your body, which also connects to your
Your
organs.
organs. Yep.
So say, maybe you have some knee pain, that it's a good place to, solar plexus is a really good place to focus on. And you would sing the note that correlates with that specific chakra point. And I always recommend you can go on YouTube and you can also look up vocal toning if that's your thing. You kind of want to try it out. Not everyone is a singer, so you
Right.
could simply just
But
listen,
you don't have
or
to be. You don't have to be. It's
you don't
about
have to
it's
be.
about getting the tone, right? And you can actually feel it because I had a class years ago about the I think it was six sound it was sound healing, but specific to Chinese medicine and the different organs. You can actually feel it vibrating in a particular area of your body. It's really cool if you pay attention. So if you don't believe that they work, really pay attention. You could actually feel in certain areas,
Yeah.
and it's
No, you're right.
massaging
I
your organ actually.
Yes. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh, it's about intention. It's about
yeah,
intention. So it's not about, like you said, it's not about, oh, you don't have to be a singer. You don't have to sing it perfectly. It's really about the intention that you put into the note that you're singing.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, guys, I see. Hey, Jaylene, you said you didn't
Okay.
know about toning. Okay, well, now you know. I would highly recommend to look up vocal toning on YouTube and research it. This is something that I practice and that I love, and I'll be teaching people about coming soon.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. I'm very excited for that. Maybe we could have some kind of joint thing with the meridians and stuff too,
Oh,
which would be awesome.
absolutely.
Yeah, because it's
Absolutely.
all it's
What
all
I'm
very
learning,
connected. Yeah.
everything is connected. Everything is connected. And what I'm learning too is we all have a very unique place in the world at time of birth. you know, the ways that the stars were aligned. It's all science. It was all mapped out. So these tones actually connect to the stars as well. It connects to the zodiac signs. So there is a way to analyze your voice spectrum, right? So there's a way to analyze your voice spectrum and see which frequencies are falling out of line. Now, you could simply just speak. You don't have to sing. You don't have to be a singer. And there's a device for this where you basically speak into the device, and it shows you which frequencies are, it's so interesting, which frequencies are falling out. And this will show you which chakra points you need to really heal in the body. And once you're completely healed, you'll start to find more of yourself, find more of your voice, and you'll discover your what is that? Your key tone that pretty much helps to unlock your true potential. So that's pretty much what I've been studying recently.
So everybody has like a personal tone, like specific to them.
Yes. Yeah.
Cool.
We're
Very
all
cool.
so different at the time of birth, you know, the time, the date. It's all science. It's all math. So it links to the stars, to the zodiac signs, as well as since everything is frequency, as above, so below. Frequency is literally holding us together right now. So if some of these frequencies, have not been activated, or AKA you have a blockage within your body, this will allow you to clear out those blockages to connect with your key frequency that will help to pretty much unlock the key to life, so to speak, in your personal life. So it really helps to balance you out. So that's one benefit, with frequency, with toning, with really diving deep and figuring out what's the pieces that are missing, right?
Yeah.
And also what you do, which is what I love, is since you're an acupuncturist, you also understand the elements, like metal element, water, fire. So I would really love for you to speak a little bit about that as well. I think it's so interesting.
Yeah, I mean, so I've been practicing, I'm a licensed acupuncturist for a number of years now, and within the system of traditional Chinese medicine, it goes back to Taoist tradition. You have the yin yang. Everybody's heard of yin and yang theory. Basically, we are part of everything. Everything is part of us. The 5 element theory goes one step further. It's kind of an expansion of the yin yang theory. And it basically shows us, you have, water, wood, fire, earth, metal as the elements. And it's basically the transition of the seasons through nature, but it also applies to our lives and how we transition through life. So if you think of water, for example, water, we're actually soon to be in the time of water, which is the energy of water, rather, which is wintertime. But it's also, if you think about it, it's pre-birth. And it's the most yin from a yin-yang aspect, because yang is like summertime, expansive, has to do with fire and energy and vitality. Now we are into this stage of a heightened state of yin, where we're going within and we're hibernating. So it has to do with pre-birth, because it's dark, right, in the womb. Then the next season comes around and we transition to spring. Right? And what is spring? We sprout up. It's birth. It's growth. And then it goes around the cycle where, the highest state of yang is fire, right? The fire energy, which is going to be summer. So you can see how it corresponds and relates. And it's like, okay, what is yin? What is winter? It's cold. It's dark. So you have all the qualities of yin within that element. So you can apply it to anything pretty much in your life and how you're transitioning in your life. If you really want to live in accordance to the seasons and not be out of balance. The ancient Chinese were so smart in just simplifying this, but making it complex. I don't know how they really did it, but it's amazing, because when you think about it, it all makes sense, right? Like now, a lot of us, and I know I've talked to you and a lot of our friends who are feeling burnt out right now because they're doing a lot basically they're going in their business or personal life, and basically they're wearing out their adrenal system. So even the water element has to do with the adrenals and the kidneys, which is the essence of our body. So it's the most important energy there is. So yeah, it's just this cycle of life that goes through. So water is pre-birth, but it's also death. You think of the circle, right? So yeah, that's something that I've been getting a little more into, and trying to apply it to just life and how we're moving through life to help people understand it more. I'm also in the process of studying ancient face reading, which goes along with the elements too. So there's so many components to it. But there's even sound associated with each element and stuff. So it's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, all of this stuff just ties together.
Yeah, it's so fascinating, right?
I know.
Yeah.
So what about, so we're really talking about your body's energy, and I know, there's this balance where you have to balance out the mind, the body, and the soul. So I feel like we were speaking about the body, but at the same time the energetic body. So that's really balancing out the body and the energetic body, the physical body with the energetic body.
Yeah.
Now, what about when you're balancing out the mind, right? What do you suggest for that when it comes to the elements? That's what I'm really interested in.
So there's different emotions that are associated with each element. You want to go a step further, like we all have the five elements within our system, within us. And usually we have one or two that's stronger, that's more apparent, and then one or two that's weaker. So, as you move through life, you may find that you can kind of tell when you're feeling out of balance by these emotions that are popping up tied to a particular element. Say you have outbursts of anger, you're irritated all the time. That could mean that your wood element is out of balance. Or say you have a lot of fear within you, or you've lost like your will to live or do anything, not be motivated. That's more of the kidney energy, the water element. If you're like manic, like overly joyful in a way, that could be your fire, right? If you have, so you could see how the emotions tie in. So if you really pay attention to how you're feeling and break it down for yourself and say, okay, this emotion I'm feeling, mostly I'm more of an angry, I'm in this state of like anger and irritation, which is a low vibrational state, right? It's always either the overexpression or the repression of an emotion. So it could be that you're repressing anger too, and it's like boiling up inside, and that's the way you feel frustrated, and that stagnates energy. So from the mental aspect, it's about paying attention to how you're feeling. And if you are prone to feeling, manic over like really depressed or something, right? Because we're all prone to different emotions within us. So it can really help you understand not only yourself, but how you're, again, transitioning through the seasons and through life. If you're irritated, maybe, right? It's like something's out of balance.
So it's really about learning how to balance all of these elements within us.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So that makes sense. And also, like I was speaking about, depending on when we were born and the stars that were aligned, that determines, how we act as a being. And we're also unique. We all have different gifts to offer the world. We all have different temperaments. We all have, some of us are more like lucky than others, where just working is not so hard. Other people have to work really hard. So I do believe that it's about understanding yourself and then understanding the elements within yourself. Right. And like you said, just studying it and seeing it, observing it, and seeing what is out of balance and what is not in balance. Right. And another thing I wanted to bring up too is food. I know you mentioned before with the elements is really important. Yeah. So can you just give a little example about, okay, my metal is out of balance or my wood is out of balance. What should I be eating to help balance these elements out?
So there's different flavors associated with food. So, something like if you find that your metal's out of balance, then you want to eat more like pungent foods, or like metals love like condiments, like Dijon mustard and horseradish, something that gives you like a punch a little bit, like a little kick, right? And then something like if your fire is out of balance, then bitter food. So maybe like dark chocolate or something like that, or dark, leafy greens that are bitter. So yeah, there's different flavors associated with the different elements, like sour with wood. And, it's not just that. I mean, you can incorporate more flavors to help balance a particular element out, but it's also eating with the seasons. Eating with the seasons, and also taking a look at, Chinese medicine aside, like what your ancestors ate too, right? Because that's important for like it's in your DNA, right? So a lot of times we eat things because we think that we should be eating it because other people are eating, but we're all very different in our genetic makeup. So, some people who are more fiery and more have like heat symptoms, they can do better with maybe a lot of raw foods, whereas somebody who is more on the colder side or yin side can't, because it's very difficult on the digestive system. So, when you take a look at, it's very interesting, you take a look at, who you are as a person, and just going back to your comment, how some people, well, you said, are lucky, or some people have to work harder than others. I would break that down and take a look at that and be like, well, why do you feel like you have to work harder? Maybe you are doing things that are not in alignment to you, to your temperament,
exactly.
who you are, right?
Exactly.
So that is what it's about. It's not about trying to push through. Like a wood element is very like driven, ambition. They have a lot of stamina to do things. But then somebody like a metal element, who that's a big part of me, doesn't have the stamina to do it. So I need more breaks or more rest between. So you have to honor that and honor who you are as a person, and not try to walk in somebody else's shoes. That's the most important thing in staying a balanced life.
Yes, that's so true. It's about, that's why it's just so important to understand yourself and what you can handle, because like you said, you could just be maybe copying someone else who is a little bit different from you, and we're all different from each other. And then you're just like, well, I'm doing what they're doing, but it's not working for me. And you feel burnt out and you feel down on yourself. So it's really about going within and figuring out what makes you tick, who you are. And I highly recommend to do that and not to pay attention to what others are doing. And I feel like that's what we suffer through, especially during this time, and being on social media and observing what other people are doing. We tend to beat ourselves up, right?
It's the worst.
And we tend to compare ourselves and we feel like, okay, well, this person is doing this, I'm going to try it too. And you try it out and you're just like
depleted or something. Yeah.
I can't do this. Well, maybe there's something wrong with me.
Right.
So I think this is important that we're speaking about this right now, and that everyone really understands that there's nothing wrong with you at all. It's more about you finding your way. Ignore what everyone else is doing and follow your intuition. Follow what feels right to you.
Follow your path.
Exactly. Follow your path. Like, we're on Instagram right now. If you see people posting on Instagram every day, maybe multiple times a day, and you try it out and you're just like, how the heck does this person do this? And then after a while you're just like, you know what, I give up. Like, I'm worthless. Like, I'm not good. Right. So don't do it. Like, just don't do it. It's not made for you. Or outsource it and have someone else do it for you,
Right. The biggest energy boost that you can give to your system is living in alignment to who you actually are, and getting to that place of authenticity and living your own path, because that's what you're destined for. If you live out of alignment, it's like something constantly tugging on you, right? And you're going through life almost like somebody's grabbing your ankles and you're trying to walk, and you're completely, right? But if you're in balance and you're in alignment to who you are, and you're on your path and not anybody else's, and you're not always trying to do what other people are doing, you feel lighter, you feel freer. You're more in the flow with your life. You're going to be happier. So things are gonna, energy in your body is gonna flow easier.
And your frequency will go up. Once you start practicing this, your frequency will go up and things will become much easier, because you're then in alignment with you, with your authenticity, with what makes you happy, with what makes you tick, with your mission, with what you were sent here to provide for others, for the world. So it really is finding that balance. And I would say, like, for me personally, I didn't know where to start. you know, on my journey, on my spiritual journey, especially when I went through my awakening process. And I'm just like, I'm depressed. I'm in California. I was just chasing fame. And then I'm just like, all right, well, this is pretty empty. So I gave up, you know, and then I started my process of, okay, what do I do now? And the easiest place to start is within. That's the easiest place to start. And you'll get all the answers that you need.
Got to work backwards.
Yes, you got to work backwards. And whenever you're in a state of feeling frenetic, feeling lost, feeling confused, slow down. Slow down. Close your eyes. That's it. Allow the energy to flow through you. That's the most important, I feel, practice that I've learned throughout my life, was to just take a breath, slow down. Are my shoulders up here? You know, take a moment to just kind of relax your shoulders.
Yeah.
Breathe. We really do hold our breath throughout the day.
We do.
We're not conscious,
we do.
you know, of breathing. And I'll just listen to music. I'll listen to music. I'll listen to binaural beats. I'll listen to just normal music. And that really does, it awakens something within you. It really does. And it puts you in a much better mood. It raises your vibration. Of course, you have to be careful with the type of music you listen to too. Because I'm just telling you, these people understand when you're watching commercials, when you're listening to music that's out on the radio, I just have to say that they know how to manipulate you.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
The information is out there. I'm learning it right now. I'm learning it right now. And I'm like, wow, I never knew you could use this tone to have someone feel crappy. Or
subliminal
programming.
messaging, right? Like commercials,
messaging, programming. So you can use tones to make people feel like they want something. Or you can, right? So it's all brainwashing. So be careful and be mindful of what you're feeling in that moment. If you feel like you listened to something and it made you feel off, or it made you feel like you needed something that you don't really need, and you just listen to some music, just know that that may have been you being manipulated in that moment. And you don't have to be, right?
Yeah.
If you're mindful of it, it's okay, right?
Yeah.
So I've been mindful of that, as well as just really going on YouTube, looking for binaural tracks. There's different hertz. I could go through that too, but there's different hertz, different frequencies that help to activate the waves. So theta, beta, alpha. So right now, what I do is I create binaural beats. And the way to create binaural beats is you basically combine two frequencies together, and that makes your bass tone or frequency. So I don't have the numbers in my head right now, but say I'm trying to create like 40 hertz, right? 40 hertz will help connect you to the core of the planet. It's also great for meditation. So what I do is I combine two frequencies. So I'll take, like, I don't know, 108 and 117. I'm just making this up, right? You want to take both of those frequencies, you combine them together, and then it creates your bass frequency, which is 40 hertz, which is pretty cool.
Okay.
And the way that this works is you pan one left and one right. Not everyone is going to know what that means. It's more, engineer talk. But basically what that means is you take one frequency and you put it in the right earphone, right? You take the other frequency, put it in the left earphone. And what that does is that once it combines together, it creates that bass frequency. So it's pretty cool how frequencies work and cancel each other out or just harmonize together. And there's also within my program that I use to create frequencies, there's a way to see how the frequencies look and how they're measured when they're combined together. So it's kind of like how it looks when it's in your cells, when it's in your body, right? So this is pretty much, and what I wanted to bring up next is Dr. Emoto, but
I was just going to mention
pretty much,
I was just going to mention
that's what
that.
pops
Yeah.
into my head. It's like the vibration, and that's how it looks in your body. It's pretty cool.
Amazing.
So Dr. Emoto, right, when he did the water experiments, he put water in jars, and then some of the jars he said, "I love you," and said, "I have so much gratitude for you." And the other jars he said, "I hate you."
Right.
And he froze the water, And for the jars that he said, I love you to, and expressed his gratitude to, produce these amazing crystals. They just like out of this world, just beautiful. And the other jars just looked like a hot mess, just all over the place. It was no structure, very chaotic. So my whole point is that's pretty much what the sound does to your cells, does to the blood in your body, does to the water in your body. So it's either putting it in this beautiful vibrational state, which then will help you to raise your frequency much easier, or it's going to put you in this chaotic state and you're going to be all out of whack, all over the place. You don't know what's going on with anything. And that's what music does to you if you listen to the wrong music. And that's why I feel like it's just so important to be mindful, because it takes a long time to recover from that. And if you're constantly pumping yourself full of that, it's no different than taking cocaine or heroin. It's literally destroying your immune system. It's destroying your cells, you know. So it's so important when you listen to the correct frequencies. It helps to heal the body on a cellular level, and it just does beautiful, amazing things for the body. It keeps you in a high vibrational state, which means it helps to boost your immune system, which means you can think clearly, which means you'll be able to tap into creativity easier, and you'll be able to connect your heart and your mind, your heart-mind coherence. And that's very important to really stay conscious throughout your day. So yeah, that's something I'm just so passionate about, and I believe in, and I believe should be a part of anyone who is in the spiritual field, or any, doesn't even have to be the spiritual field, anyone. I just feel like this should be part of your practice. You don't have to meditate. You don't have to sit there for hours. Just put on some of this music, and also just be mindful, you know, live in a state of gratitude. Be mindful of the words that you're putting out. Like, are you just, you know, throwing out like, I hate everything and I hate everyone? Right. You know, that's gonna not only damage the people around you, but it's also doing a lot of damage on your body.
Can I just say, I used to listen to a lot of heavy metal back in the day, and now I can't. I mean, I've shifted what I listen to now. My favorite is like electronic dance music. It's just like lifts me up. So it's basically it's my number way to lift my vibration. But yeah, I've dabbled with binaural beats. I think they're awesome. I've used them with patients. I've used different like alpha, theta, particularly like the more meditative states. Delta is great for sleep, but I've used them with patients, and it really, really enhances like a treatment, or enhances if you're doing meditation or anything you're doing. It just gets you into a great place, you know. And anybody who wants to check out that book or doesn't know Dr. Emoto, what is it called? Messages in Water, I believe it's called. Hidden messages in water, something like that.
But you can look it up and it will.
But it's an amazing book. I mean, I have it here, and the pictures, you can just see, you know, heavy metal music versus like a symphony orchestra. And it's all about paying attention to what you're listening to, because you can feel in your body, like certain music is really like fast, angry music, you feel tense, right, when you listen to it. And a lot of people will listen to that when they're working out, which can benefit them for that if they're trying to, you know, expend a lot of energy. But just in a general basis, you have to pay attention to not only the words and the music, the lyrics, but just the overall, the background music, because it makes a huge difference on your system. I've been listening to a lot of Frank Sinatra this week. I don't know why. It reminds me of my grandfather, so it's part of it was reminiscent, but you know, it had like Christmas music, right? Makes you feel good. Some people hate it.
That's nice. I mean, it's very soothing. It definitely puts you in more of a relaxed state, I feel.
Classical music. Roy's been here.
Okay. I think all of that is so important. So one thing I wanted to bring up, speaking of mind, body, soul, and also a lot of people out there who are listening, you may be an entrepreneur, and you may even be, well, if you're listening to my IGTV, you're probably also spiritual. And it's very challenging, I feel, to be a spiritual entrepreneur and get out there and get all the work you need to get done without feeling like we talked about earlier, the burnout and the frustration and the, oh my gosh, I just want to give up, because you don't really want to do the business side of things. So me and Jen were actually part of a platform. It's called the S.U.N, and the S.U.N stands for the Spiritually United Network. And we are just spiritual entrepreneurs. We're there, we're together, and we are growing our businesses together. And we have all the help that we need within one place. So there's courses, there's tutorials. You also have help from experts. So there's a business strategist there, there's a marketing expert. We also have, when we get into the modalities, we have an EFT specialist, we have a hypnotherapist. So there's so much talent there, and so much help there. And I highly recommend to check it out. I have the link, it's in my bio. If you guys want to join and be part of the tribe, I highly recommend that you guys try it out. Right now, I believe we are doing a 7-day free trial. So you can come on, you can scope out the community, see how you like it, see how you feel, kind of vibe with it, because I'm all about that. I have to make sure it's a good fit before I commit. And during those 7 days, you'll be sent a business assessment. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because it's called the Zen Art of Business Assessment, which helps to go through 3 categories, and that's mind, body, and soul. So this will really break down the mind, which is the business side of things, the body, which is so important because that's more physical, right? So what type of food are you consuming? Do you have a workout practice? Are you just practicing your hobbies on a daily basis? Are you doing what you love? Are you exploring? Are you living? Right. As well as the soul, which is the energetic side of things. What type of practices do you have? And are you able to merge all of these things together? And what this assessment does is it helps to bring more balance. So say you're lacking in the mind side of things, the assessment will send you back a personalized report, and it will help to really get you balanced and give you all of the resources and tools that you need to really live a life of balance as a spiritual entrepreneur. So I just thought I would bring that up because I know a lot of people are currently struggling with that right now, and they're experiencing burnout. And like Jen said, it's about the seasons. It's about, okay, wintertime is a time of hibernation. It's a time to really go within. It's a time to reassess. It's a time to really figure out what it is that you're here to do. And most people during this time experience burnout, and they experience kind of like this rebirth process where there's a part of them that's just kind of like dying, right? And then they have to go within and rediscover themselves. And then the springtime comes, like you mentioned, and then you just kind of spring into action, and it's go time. So I think it's important that we have these tools, right? We have these tools. We understand how the seasons work. Also, your star alignment, what you're in alignment with, what you're not in alignment with, because we're all, like I said, very unique. None of us, we're not the same. We're all very, very different. And I don't care what type of family you're born into, you may look like them, and you may act like them a little bit because subconsciously you're programmed to be like them, but you are not them. I can guarantee you that.
Exactly.
You're not them. So we're all so different and so unique. So I think it's important to understand yourself. And if you do come onto the S.U.N, this business assessment will help to really bring you more in alignment with who you are as an entrepreneur.
It's such a unique thing. It's awesome because, most business oriented things are just from the mental analytical side, right? But when you're talking about more spiritual entrepreneurs, it's very hard for them to be in only that mental space, right? Because we have so much more to us. So it's really amazing to be able to be assessed on just everything about you. And that's why I think it's such a unique tool that we have on the S.U.N that can really benefit people, because it's hard to balance that side with this side and mesh the two. A lot of spiritual people run away from business because it's too much in that analytical place. So we have found a way to combine it and make it easier for you to live life easier, more balanced, and be able to create and sustain a business. So, I just want to mention that's why it's so important.
Yeah, I agree, Jen. I feel like it's almost impossible to really find that balance on your own. That's why we're all
It's
here for
hard.
each other. That's why we're all good at what we do. And we can't just shut ourselves off from the world and from other people. We're all meant to be together, to help each other. And especially within the sun, the tribe is so amazing. Everyone who has gravitated to the sun, we are really like a family, you know, and
Yeah.
everyone who's there, they felt a calling to want to be a part of it. And it's really, really growing into a safe place, you know, a positive place where everybody can just come to and get all of the assistance and the help that they need. Because right now, for some reason, well, I'm not going to say for some reason, I know why. It's because of everything that's been going on with the pandemic and everything that's been going on in the world. The world needs community right now. And unfortunately, we're not able to do that in real life, but we're able to do that online. So yeah, I just wanted to let anybody know out there who is struggling, who's kind of isolating themselves. You don't have to do this alone. You don't have to be alone. There's more than enough people out there that are here to help you, and more than enough people out there who are similar to you, who are going through the same struggles. But the difference is, for us in particular and for the community, we're doing it together. So it just feels better. You don't, even when you do get in that place of I just want to give up and you're unsure about things, it's nice to have people around you who can help motivate you, who can help inspire you, who can help lift you up when you're in your darkest moments, because none of us should be going through that alone at all.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's one thing I also wanted to add as well.
Yeah, I agree. Having a positive community is so important, especially right now, like you said, because there's a lot of people who do feel alone. And even though you can't be with people physically, to be able to, we have, you know, monthly mastermind calls, and we're always communicating with each other. So if somebody's having a bad day, you always have somebody who's got your back, who you can reach out to. And like you said, the safe space, that is so important, because it's not like you're just joining some random Facebook group or something and venting and being vulnerable with people who you don't really know. You know, we've created an environment where you know everybody, and you feel comfortable to share things if you need to share things. And yes, it's focused on growing a business, but we're also a family too, and we're friends, and we really care about what each other is doing, and we want each other to thrive. So it's not competition, it's that we're a family.
Exactly. Yeah. No need to be in this whole competition mindset and thing. I think it's starting to really shift, especially with the new energies that are coming in. The winter solstice is coming up, which is a very, very, very powerful time. I see a lot of people around the world are starting to connect more with that higher consciousness. I can see it, and I'm hearing about it. So it's a very exciting time. And for anyone who, they're just looking for a place to be, you feel connected, you feel drawn to wanting to try out the sun and be a part of it, please, you know, come join us. We'd love to have you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, Jen, thank you. Thank you so much for
Pleasure.
coming on. Yeah, I had a lot of fun speaking with you about
Likewise.
frequency, about energy, about the elements, everything.
Yeah, it's all fascinating, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Anybody have any questions before we go, or comments? If not, it's
we have a few comments here, but it looks like people are saying hello.
Yeah.
I'll say just little comments. Okay. All right, guys. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for joining. And we'll see you next time.
Awesome.
Bye,
Thank
Jen.
you, everyone. Thank you, Crystal.